Initiative. Thank you.
Sometimes things do work the way you set them up to. The story that we're going to tell shows the connection between the work of a community organization and the way in which we're using research in order to drive that project. One of the most important things about the issue and the question of poverty and the low-wage economy in Buffalo is that it has a neighborhood dimension. People on low wages, people who are poor, they live inside of neighborhoods and communities. And the problems and difficulties that they face not only are problems and difficulties that are related to the wages that they earn, but are also related to the conditions of life that are found inside of those communities. This shift in the economy has had a devastating impact on the numbers on African Americans. As a consequence of the shifts in the economy, large numbers of African Americans, especially young men, are being driven out of the labor force altogether. So not only do we have a problem of high levels of unemployment inside of the African American, people who are looking for work every day but can't find jobs, but we also have a serious issue of those who've given up on the labor force altogether because they believe there is no way they're going to escape that low-wage market, and they decide to take their chances in the informal economy where the risks are higher, but the rewards are sometimes easier to get. Within this context, the CAO, in partnership with the Center for Urban Studies and others, have launched a very innovative workforce development program that is part of a larger process of redeveloping neighborhoods and communities, because we believe that you've got to transform neighborhoods and communities as you get people involved into the labor force. So within that context, our presentation is going to be divided into a couple of components. Nate is going to talk about the Keep Buffalo Neat program, and then I'm going to discuss very briefly the way in which we're attempting to use research as a support for that program. Nate.
All right, thank you very much, and welcome all of you. The Keep Buffalo Neat initiative was really designed to respond to a number of initiatives or a number of concerns we were trying to address within the community. The first is that we needed to find a way to create employment opportunities for people that were accessible to the people who are unemployed. Those of you that have your PhDs who are not working, for the most part, you can get a job someplace. If you don't have one, it's because you just don't want to move. Let me not go there, but let me just say I'm not feeling you, okay? The people that we're most concerned about are the people who are cyclically and persistently unemployed. And those people tend to be the folks who didn't finish high school, who have criminal records, who've got 4 kids and they've got $35,000 they owe in child support. They need job opportunities that are accessible to them. So we tried to figure out a way that we could be helpful. Part of our goal was to also find ways to create goods and services in the communities that need the goods and services and provide them by the people in those communities. And that's what Keep Buffalo Neat focuses on. There's another component. The other component is that we believe that money tends to follow money. You probably didn't know that. And that money will not go voluntarily where money is afraid and where money is dirty. So Keeping Buffalo Neat is providing a cleaner, brighter community for people to live in, engaging people in that community to provide that clean and bright environment. And because they have really nice uniforms on, do we have any Keep Buffalo Neat pictures in here?
No.
They have really nice uniforms on. They have a customer service profile. They have nice insignia. They are required to smile even at each other all day long. So when they're out here doing snow removal and they're picking up debris in communities, they're keeping the lawns at 2 inches or lower. They are trimming lawns, they are edging lawns, they're trimming bushes, and this is being done by people with resources that Donna got through the you all know Donna Brown, who was our deputy mayor. Well, she helped us to get some stimulus money. And that stimulus money that people keep talking about that's not happening in the community, well, there are 40 people eating off of that stimulus money and just to keep Buffalo Need alone. You ought to say something nice about that. Now, we partnered with the University of Buffalo, with the Center for Urban Studies, in an initiative we call the Better Schools, Better Neighborhoods Initiative. What we wanted to do was to focus on particular areas. And there are a number of catchment areas that CAO focuses on around the county. But this particular one allows us to take advantage of institutions. We have the Martin Luther King Park there. We have the Museum of Science. We have the Science Magnet School. We have the Early Childhood Center, Makowski Early Childhood Center. We have our new Martin DePorres Village Housing Project we're building over there. And as a result of that, we felt that if we did more things to make the community a place that people wanted to live in, housing values would go up, and as housing values went up, we would build a secondary market for houses, so people who are trapped in their houses and can't get out because they can't turn them into money, we want to help them be able to turn their houses into money. And then new people come in who are in a more income-producing stage of their life, and they put more investment in their houses, and we help to make our communities better. Thank you, Hank.
Right. A key task is for us to figure out how do we link research to this activity in order to grow it and in order to develop it. There were several anchoring the research agenda that we're in the process of developing was how do we gain insight and understanding in how the neighborhood economy works and operates. Every neighborhood and every community has an economy operating within the context of that community. And our goal was to begin to look deeply at that economy to see what types of jobs and opportunities that we could see that comes from the transactions that occur within that space, but also to look at the other types of entry-level positions that might occur across the region as a whole. There were essentially 4 big goals that we had in mind in terms of the work that we're doing. The first is to gain deeper insight into this market for lawn maintenance, snow removal, handyman jobs, and other types of low-skill entry-level positions that we could possibly see operating both within the neighborhood economy and across the city as a whole. The second goal was then to figure out a strategy by which we could link Keep Buffalo Neat to those jobs and opportunities that were there. And then how do we begin to leverage the employment of these young folks in these jobs into other jobs and opportunities within the region, job training program and even other positions, as we teach them basic workforce skills like come to work on time, stay all day, no sunny day off, things that we all take for granted, how to dress for success. A third strategy was how do we identify and recruit young folks? How do we get people who have decided that they want to venture into the informal economy to develop an understanding that there are opportunities within the formal economy that you might want to secure? And how do we get them involved in that process? And then the final element is how do we develop an evaluative framework that would allow us to determine if, in fact, the things that we are attempting to achieve actually are in the process of beginning to happen. So for us down on the ground, it's the notion of if we're going to transform and change the neighborhoods and the communities in which folks live, if we accept the reality that we may not be able to alter the low-wage market, but it is within our grasp to transform and change what it means to be a low-income person in Buffalo. And this is the goal of the research component that we have attached to the Keep Buffalo Neat project. Thank you.